All right, let's dive into one of the biggest, most powerful roles you have as a parent, and that's shaping who your child is actually becoming. And here's the secret. It's not about the big lectures. It's not about the speeches. It's about the small, almost invisible habits they do day in and day out. So I want you to just pause and really think about this question for a second. I'm not asking who they'll be in 10 years. I'm asking, who are they becoming today, right now? In these small moments, who are they practicing being? You see, a kid's identity isn't shaped by what they promise they'll do or some big goal they set. Nope. It's forged in the fire of their daily repeated actions. What they do over and over again, well, that's who they become.
Welcome to another Masterclass. Lordy here from Merchants of Wisdom.
Okay, so if it's all about action, why do so many of us, myself included, fall into what I call the instruction trap? We think we can build our kids' character just by, telling them who to be. There's this massive disconnect, right? We say things like, be confident, or just be more disciplined. But for a child, it's just a cloud of words. It doesn't tell them how. It's like handing someone a destination, but no map, no GPS, nothing. They're just left there wondering, okay, but what do I actually do? And this is absolutely key. Identity isn't an instruction you download, it's a conclusion you draw about yourself. It's the story you tell yourself based on the evidence of your own behavior. It's built piece by piece, not just taught. So let's make this real. Let's see how this actually plays out. I want you to imagine two different kids walking two totally different paths, and each path is shaped by one tiny repeated choice. So here's our first child. He has a habit. Whenever something gets hard, a math problem, a tough video game level, anything that feels like a struggle, his default reaction is just to stop, to put it down. He avoids the friction. Now, doing it once, that's nothing, but the real power is in the pattern. He does it on Monday, then he does it again on Wednesday, and again next week. That little act of stopping, when it's repeated, starts to carve a deep groove in his brain. And over time, without anyone ever saying it out loud, he starts to gather all this evidence, and he comes to a conclusion about himself. The story he starts telling himself is, I guess I'm just someone who gives up. And boom, that's his identity. Okay, now let's look at path number 2. This child also hits a wall. He feels that same frustration, that same desire to quit, but his habit is just a little bit different. He makes a small choice to just try. And here's the thing. It's not about winning or getting it right immediately. He might totally fail at first. That's not the point. The point is that he shows up. He puts in the reps. He tries again. The action he is repeating is the effort itself. And by repeating that effort, he gathers a completely different set of data about himself. His internal story doesn't become, I'm a genius who succeeds at everything. It becomes something way, way more powerful. I am someone who tries. I'm the kind of person who sticks with hard things. So where do you, the parent, fit into all this? This is where we need to shift our thinking. You're not just a manager of your child's behavior anymore. You're an architect. You are helping to design the very structure of their identity. Think of it this way. Every single habit your child has is sending them a little message about who they are. If they consistently dodge chores, the message they're absorbing isn't just, I don't like chores. It's, I am someone who avoids effort. But flip that around. When they repeatedly complete a small task, they learn, I am a finisher. I'm someone who does what they say they'll do. This is the question that can change everything for you. Stop worrying so much about the one-time mess-up, that one bad grade, or the messy room today. Instead, I want you to zoom out and ask yourself, what are the patterns here? What is my child practicing being every single day? Because that is who they are becoming. Okay, so how do you actually become that architect? It starts with a super simple but incredibly powerful tool. You have to name the identity that you want to reinforce. Here's the game plan. It's just 3 steps. First, pick one tiny, repeatable habit. Not something vague like be more responsible. I mean something tiny, like put your shoes away when you come inside. Second, remember the goal is just doing it again and again. It's about repetition, not perfection. And third, this is the secret sauce. You have to connect that little action to their growing identity. This is your new script. Instead of just barking a command, you're going to narrate the identity they are building. So when you see them struggling with homework but they keep at it, don't just say, good job. Say, wow, I can see you're working so hard on that. You are becoming someone who doesn't give up easily. You're literally giving them the words for their new internal story. Now, to really make this stick, you can build a really simple ritual into your day. Think of it as your daily family identity meeting. It only takes a minute. At the dinner table, or maybe before bed, just ask this one question. And notice it's not, what did you get done? It's, what did we repeat? Maybe we repeated helping each other. Maybe we repeated complaining. Maybe we repeated putting our dishes in the sink. The focus is purely on the pattern of our actions. And then you follow it up with this. This second question is what connects the daily grind to the bigger picture. It's a gentle, non-judgmental check-in. It turns this whole idea of building an identity into a conscious, shared family project. And if you don't like the answer, that's okay. Now you know exactly what action to focus on tomorrow. You can't just tell your child to be confident and expect it to happen. Confidence isn't a lecture. It's the feeling they get after practicing small, brave actions over and over and over again. And you can't just install discipline with a set of rules. Discipline is the outcome of repeatedly choosing the slightly harder, better thing until that choice starts to feel automatic. And this is the main takeaway, the most important point of all. Identity isn't something you just decide on one day. It is something you build, one tiny, repeated brick at a time. Every single day is a new construction site. So forget about the 5-year plan for just a second. Just think about tomorrow. What's one tiny action your child can repeat that will cast a vote for the person you both hope they'll become? Because that's where the real magic happens.